What's up, YouTube? On this episode of Coddiwomple Overland, we're going to be taking a little bit of a different adventure. We're going to enter the world of America's Most Wanted.
We don't need a destination, let's go where the river's taking us.
We bought our Jeep Gladiator in October of 2021. It went on its first trip in January of 2022. Since that time, we've crisscrossed the United States and put a little over 120,000 miles on it. We considered purchasing a new Jeep, but by the time you factor in buying a new one and adding all of the upgrades to build it exactly the way we have our current Jeep, it was going to turn out to be a very expensive endeavor, and at that point, we would have two Jeep payments. Deb and I are planning to do a lot more traveling this year, so one of those Jeeps would just be sitting at home while we'd be making a payment and paying insurance on it. After a lot of thought, research, consideration, we found America's Most Wanted 4x4 and realized that we could change the entire powertrain for less than half of the money that we are already considering on spending and having the perfect Jeep Gladiator.
So today is HEMI Day. We're in Michigan. We're almost to Holly, and that is where we're going to be dropping off the Gladiator for about 4 to 6 weeks. Part of the whole 100,000 mile makeover, along with the wrap, is we decided to give it a new heart. So here comes an AMW 505. Kevin, thanks for having us here at AMW, man. We certainly appreciate it. We've been looking forward to this project for a long time.
You and me both.
So, I called you and I said, hey, we're looking for an upgrade to power. We didn't want to go crazy. We wanted to be reliable.
Yep.
And you know that what we do on the show and things like that. So why was the 505 the best pick for us?
Well, in my opinion, it's definitely the most common motor, that package that we sell for conversion, and it's also very reliable, very very much efficient as far as the traveling you do. It doesn't have the forced induction and things like that like our other packages do. So it's very very easy to maintain. All the above really. It's just a good simple very powerful package for what you're trying to achieve.
But it's very efficient, and
Yes.
you know, as
Oh,
far
yeah.
as a Hemi goes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But that, you know, that's one of the biggest things that we were
Most
looking
reliable,
for.
most durable.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we're looking for reliability, durability, efficiency, and you know, a good bit of torque and horsepower to go with
Sure.
that, because we're pulling the camper all the time.
Yep.
Right now we're getting very low mileage. On the way up here, unloaded, we got 11.3 miles to a gallon.
That's going to improve.
All right, so I'm not going to put you on the spot and ask you how much it's going to improve.
I will, yeah.
But to know it's going to improve
depending
is
on
awesome.
what you're doing, I suppose.
Right. So it depends on how much Deb can keep her foot out of it.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to boil down to. But man, we'd love for you to show us around the shop, kind of give us a walkthrough of what everything AMW does here,
Yeah, man.
and kind of what we can expect our rig to go through.
Okay. All right.
All right, let's do that.
So, coming in the back here. So, at this point, we would get a brand new vehicle that would come in. It would get dismantled here. And as you can see, he's taking, you know, it's going down to the bare bones. So, from that point, we would, you know, create the takeoff axles that are new, and, you know, resell them, or the customer would take them with them. Obviously, tub comes off from the chassis. Chassis would keep rolling over to here.
Okay, so this one came in completely stripped down, new unit.
Brand new, yeah.
Brand new unit,
And
then everything is pulled down, and this is going to be one of your complete builds, right?
Sure, yep, full
Okay.
turnkey.
And then from here, once the frame is separated,
Yep,
I guess the frame
chassis
goes
with,
back to the other location.
This is Payton. She does most of our fabrication, really. And
Hey, I'm back here with Payton at America's Most Wanted, and she is the only lady fabricator, only one back here on the back, right?
I am.
So we're going to have her walk us through what her job is here at AMW.
So back here we do the frame modifications. We'll go through, strip all the brackets off that are needed, change out the engine mounts, suspension points, and we also shorten the beds shorten the frames for the bob beds. And we do shorten the beds back here as well. Fortunately, we don't have one back here. The last one just left to paint today, but then we do any axle modifications as well. That one just needs a couple sway bar tabs relocated on it. But so back here, we have our own engine mounts. We have it custom logo, laser cut into these. It's all prepped for the long arm brackets that are going on. And then we also have a drive shaft mod that we cut out for a one-piece drive shaft. The long arm brackets that we use back here are the TerraFlex long arms. That's majority of what we use. But all of our turnkeys do get the long arm brackets put on front and rear.
our AMW axles here, it's second to none in quality for sure. The tolerance is a lot tighter than the rest of them. It's just a really
Y'all
nice
do
setup.
60s and 80s, right?
Yep, we do have a 60-60 package, but typically it's a 60-80 for our full turnkey. So at this point, we're at the powertrain area, which we would end up doing any sort of modifications for the crate engines that we get, whether it be the 606, which is over here. This is a 426 over here. And then these ones being 392, 392, and then back there we'll get into the 707, the Hellcats that have the supercharger on top, so it's a forced air system.
Once everything's been separated and the frame has went through Payton's station, it's then moved over to this area to be staged up for reassembly. At this point, you can see the difference between the traditional suspension setup and the custom coilovers that they do for some of their higher end builds.
So over here we have our coilover chassis. We add in some winch tray support pieces. This is our new sway bar location. We run a straight bar through here, a torsion bar. We modify the body mounts to clear the sway bar arm. Then we move back to our coil tower, which is all custom made for us. We weld everything in-house here. This will get sent out to powder coat, have a nice new coating on it. It gets the same suspension brackets as a normal turnkey would. In the back, since this is a JL, we add in some frame gussets back here, a new track bar bracket, and then the rear coilover mounts.
With some of your builds, you do a long arm setup, or do you do that on all of your builds?
So all our full turnkey builds are going to have our long arm suspension. The long travel would be the coilover setup, and then this is our traditional long arm setup over here. So this here is a full turnkey. It has our long travel suspension, and that's what I was showing you over there was this coil bucket setup that we do for the long travel and the coilover. Just a really, really solid setup, and there's really nothing else like these as far as the best of both worlds when it comes to balance. You know, they drive down the road incredible. You can have a conversation inside, you know, on 40s going down the road at 90 mile an hour, and they just hold up well.
So what gears do you typically run in these?
So like this one here would probably have, this would have a 488 setup.
So we're running 513s. Do you think that's a good gear for what we're doing, or are we a little too deep?
We may be too deep. I think at that point, you know, when we're doing our tuning, we'll look at it then. Regardless, we're not going to send you off with anything that's not balanced the way you need it to be. Okay. So yours needs to be able to travel at speeds as well as perform off-road. So,
and we're pulling 4,000 pounds.
And exactly, and you have a totally different element. So yeah, I think, you know, in the end, we're going to get you exactly what you want. So on this side of the shop, most of the time we're just doing the powertrain conversions, which is our crate engine setup, you know, transmission, everything. Anywhere from doing just the powertrain to axles, top to bottom. Really, we could do, you know, anything, but on this side of the building, typically powertrain. Okay. If you look underneath here, you can see our wrapped exhaust, which is a really, really sweet setup. It helps tremendously with heat.
So are you guys using Fox or Falcon or whatever the customer wants?
Yeah, we use this, so it would be a Fox coilover setup for our long travel. But for our traditional long arm kit, it is the
3.3s.
Falcon. Yep, exactly. But they're fully adjustable, you know. With the 8-lug setup, you get our Barbarian brake setup, 8 piston. It's enough to stop an elephant.
Right.
So.
Or a elephant.
Or an elephant. Yeah, both. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So over here we have our Bob bed package. We take 10 inches out of the bed, out of the back. We shorten the rails for the beds and also the tonneau covers.
All right, so they're going to let us take a drive in this 840. I know what Kevin's doing. This is an upsell strategy before we ever leave because we got the 505.
Before we leave, let's have a conversation here, Bill.
About what?
Does Kevin know what you used to do? Have you told Kevin?
Which part?
What it's due, Bill.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Tell him about how heavy your foot is and why.
Well, I think that's perfect for this.
So Bill raced for a while.
Oh. What kind of racing did you do there, Bill?
Done a little drag racing.
Oh, nice.
Done a little motocross, enduro stuff.
Let's keep it on all 4.
Oh yeah. We'll keep it on all 4.
No motocross in this.
Little GNCC racing with side-by-sides.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. You're getting after it pretty good.
We're going to have fun.
And now you're,
So this is the 840. It's the supercharged 426, right?
This is the 840 Demon engine. This is the step before the 1025.
Gotcha.
Shit.
So the exhaust and everything
similar,
Okay.
you know, but same design. Yes. Yep.
So everything but the wine.
A couple extra horsepower.
Yeah, and a few.
Yeah.
Like a couple hundred extra horsepower. There's no way that.
Miles per gallon, right?
Oh yeah.
I just can't wait to get it home and take it right out in front of the sheriff's department and do a huge, like,
Big burnout.
big burnout.
Yeah.
That's where you work,
And then I'm
right?
going to be like,
Yeah.
catch me if you can.
Oh.
We are really excited to take our Gladiator to the next level and truly make it the perfect overlanding rig. And we're even happier that AMW is doing it for us. If this might be something that you're interested in for your rig, you can reach out to them at amw4x4.com. We'll let you know how ours comes together, and we'll talk to you about it soon. Until next time, see you.